Good evening. And let me start by sharing something that might completely transform how you view your nightly routine. What you choose to eat in those final hours before heading to sleep could either be silently degrading your brain or powerfully repairing it while you rest. I am not referring to a viral wellness trend or a supplement brand pushing expensive pills. I am talking about everyday, real food sitting in your local grocery store that researchers at world-renowned institutions have discovered can actually restore memory circuits, soothe brain inflammation, and generate fresh neural pathways overnight. Most people over 60 are unintentionally starving their brains at the exact time when cellular repair needs nutrition the most. But tonight, we are changing that. Having spent over 3 decades studying how nutrition interacts with cellular human biology, what I am revealing tonight comes directly from cutting-edge neuroscience. Information your doctor has likely never had time to discuss during a brief 10-minute visit. Before we go through the list, I must share a clinical study that genuinely stunned me when I first read it. Scientists at the University of Toronto published findings demonstrating that targeted nutrient intake during the evening hours, specifically within 90 minutes of bedtime, boosted memory consolidation scores by up to 43% in adults over the age of 65, compared to those who either fasted or ate the wrong foods before bed. 43% is a massive difference. It represents the gap between effortlessly recalling where you set your keys and spending 20 frustrating minutes searching the house every morning, or remembering your grandchildren's birthdays versus facing that terrifying moment of
mental blankness so many patients describe as a frightening part of growing older. Hold on to this key insight as we move forward. The absolute top food on this countdown, the most potent brain-repairing food you can consume before sleep, is something almost everyone over 70 has been told to avoid. I will reveal it at the very end, and I believe it will truly surprise you, so stay tuned all the way through since it is the one food I recommend most urgently to my patients. Before we jump into the ranking, I want to hear your story. Leave a quick comment below with your age and whether you have noticed any subtle changes in your memory or mental clarity over recent years. I personally read through every single comment on this channel, and your input ensures I deliver the most relevant, helpful content possible. We have built an incredible community here of proactive individuals taking charge of their longevity, and I want to know you are part of it. Now let us begin our countdown from 5 down to 1, ranked from highly beneficial all the way to the single most powerful brain-repairing food to eat before bed. Starting at number 5, we have tart cherry juice, and its effects on your resting brain are something researchers are only beginning to fully appreciate. Most people think of cherries as just a sweet summer treat, but tart cherries, specifically the Montmorency variety, contain one of the densest concentrations of natural melatonin found anywhere in nature, combined with a unique class of anti-inflammatory compounds called anthocyanins that exert a remarkable effect on aging brain tissue. To keep the science accessible yet precise, as we age, our brains develop a condition known as neuroinflammation, which is essentially a low-grade, persistent inflammation inside the brain itself. You can picture neuroinflammation as a massive traffic jam along the brain's neural highways. Signals still try to pass through, but everything slows down, connections falter, and memories struggle to form or be retrieved. Beyond age 70, neuroinflammation escalates significantly in most individuals, and researchers at the Cleveland Clinic now view it as one of the chief drivers of age-related cognitive decline. Tart cherry juice tackles this issue from 2 directions simultaneously. Its anthocyanins cross the blood-brain barrier, the strict biological security checkpoint that blocks most substances, and once inside, they deactivate inflammatory proteins called cytokines that directly damage memory-storing neurons. Concurrently, the natural melatonin helps regulate your sleep architecture, specifically lengthening deep, slow-wave sleep, which is the exact phase when your brain conducts its most intensive memory consolidation. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition revealed that adults over 65 who drank 8 ounces of tart cherry juice every night for 12 weeks experienced a 24% increase in sleep efficiency, along with significantly higher scores on episodic memory tests, which evaluate your ability to recall personal life events. For aging bodies,
This intervention is particularly crucial because after age 65, natural melatonin production drops by as much as 50% compared to youth, leaving you with half the sleep-regulating chemistry required for overnight memory repair. Tart cherry juice safely restores that deficit in a gentle, natural way without side effects. Practically speaking, drink 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened Montmorency tart cherry juice about 60 to 90 minutes before bed, ensuring it is Montmorency, not sweet cherry juice. And if the tartness is too strong, dilute it with a little water while avoiding added sugar, which negates the anti-inflammatory benefits. To maximize absorption, pair it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a couple of walnut halves or a teaspoon of olive oil, because anthocyanins are fat-soluble and absorb far better alongside healthy fats. I will detail walnuts further at number 3 because combining these two foods produces extraordinary results. Moving to number 4, we have a common kitchen staple that most seniors already own, yet almost no one eats at the optimal time for maximum brain rejuvenation: Greek yogurt. The reason Greek yogurt earns a top spot isn't simply its calcium or protein content, vital as those are for aging bodies, but its exceptionally high concentration of tryptophan. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid that serves as the direct precursor to serotonin, which your brain subsequently converts into melatonin. Think of tryptophan as high-grade raw material delivered directly to a manufacturing plant. Your brain processes it into serotonin, then transforms that serotonin into the sleep-regulating melatonin that manages your overnight repair cycle. Consuming Greek yogurt before bed effectively restocks your brain's cellular factory with everything it needs for night shift maintenance. This is especially vital for anyone over 60 due to anabolic resistance, the clinical term for your body's declining ability to utilize dietary protein effectively as you age. Past age 70, your muscles and brain become far less efficient at extracting amino acids from daytime protein sources. However, groundbreaking research from Maastricht University in the Netherlands showed that slow-digesting proteins consumed in the evening, specifically casein protein, which dominates Greek yogurt, are handled differently. Because casein digests gradually over a 6 to 8 hour window, it maintains a steady supply of amino acids throughout the night while you sleep, giving your aging metabolism an extended time frame to absorb and utilize building blocks. For the brain, this constant amino acid supply provides the essential raw materials required to repair synaptic connections, which are the physical junctions between brain cells where memories are stored. Every single memory exists as a specific pattern of synaptic connections, requiring protein-derived compounds for structural integrity. A single cup of full-fat Greek yogurt supplies roughly 17 to 20 grams of protein with a rich casein profile, making it a supreme bedtime brain food. A fascinating trial from Florida State University showed that older adults consuming 40 grams of casein protein before sleep exhibited significantly higher overnight muscle protein synthesis and improved cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to fluidly switch between thoughts and tasks, which is typically one of the first mental faculties to decline with age. Consume 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt, avoiding fat-free versions since healthy fat is required for nutrient absorption, about 45 minutes before bed. You can mix in a small spoon of raw honey or a handful of fresh blueberries for an extra anthocyanin boost, but avoid high-sugar granolas or refined carbs that spike insulin and disrupt overnight repair processes. Let us pause for a quick moment. If this information is offering you valuable new insights into your health, please take a second right now to click the like button and subscribe. If you haven't already, I produce new, science-backed videos every week dedicated to helping you protect your brain power, independence, and vitality as you age. Every single subscription helps me reach millions of seniors who are quietly struggling without access to these practical solutions, and your support means the world to me. Now let us explore the top 3, where the nutritional science becomes truly potent. At number 3, we have walnuts. Specifically, walnuts, not mixed nuts, almonds, or cashews. This distinction rests on a unique compound found in very few foods on Earth that exerts a direct, measurable impact on the aging brain. Consider my patient Margaret, a 74-year-old retired schoolteacher from Burlington, Vermont, who came to my office feeling anxious and discouraged. She was misplacing everyday items, losing her train of thought during conversations, and struggling to remember names of lifelong friends. Her primary doctor had written it off as normal aging, telling her nothing could be done. Margaret began eating a small handful of raw walnuts every night before bed as part of a targeted protocol. And within 8 weeks, she reported that it felt as though a light switch had been flipped back on in her mind. While individual responses vary, Margaret's progress aligns with robust findings in nutritional neuroscience. Walnuts are the only tree nut packed with high levels of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a vital omega-3 fatty acid, alongside rich polyphenols, unique ellagic acid, and critical DHA precursors that your body converts into docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, which constitutes roughly 60% of your brain's structural fat. Think of DHA as the protective insulation surrounding electrical wiring. Without adequate DHA, neural signals between brain cells become sluggish, distorted, and unreliable. Past age 65, your brain's capacity to synthesize and maintain structural DHA drops sharply, leaving many seniors severely deficient without realizing it. A major study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging demonstrated that older adults consuming walnuts regularly scored significantly higher on memory evaluations, processed information faster, and displayed greater mental flexibility. Furthermore, a study from the University of California, Los Angeles, tracking over 600 seniors with an average age of 68, found that higher walnut consumption was tied to a staggering 52% lower risk of low cognitive scores on standardized tests. Timing matters immensely for walnuts because of your brain's overnight glymphatic clearing system. During deep sleep, your brain activates the glymphatic system, a specialized network of channels that flushes out metabolic waste, including the toxic amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. This nocturnal washing process relies heavily on healthy, flexible brain cell membranes, which are constructed from the exact fatty acids walnuts supply. Eating walnuts before bed ensures these vital building materials are actively circulating in your bloodstream precisely when the glymphatic system goes to work. Eat 1 to 1.5 ounces of raw or dry roasted walnuts, roughly a small handful or 14 halves, about 60 minutes before sleep, avoiding oil-roasted or heavily salted varieties that contain oxidized fats. For an incredible synergistic effect, pair your walnuts with the Montmorency tart cherry juice mentioned at number 5, as combining cherry anthocyanins with walnut polyphenols creates a compound anti-inflammatory effect in the brain far greater than either food yields alone, serving as a complete evening maintenance crew for under $2 a night. At number 2 on our list is an ancient natural remedy consumed by humans for thousands of years, prescribed by historical healers for mental clarity, and now thoroughly validated by modern neuroscience: raw honey. I must be precise regarding the exact type and dosage because commercial processed honey in most pantries is entirely different from raw, unheated honey. Pure raw honey, such as local wildflower or manuka honey, contains a powerful flavonoid called pinosembrin, which is extremely rare in other dietary sources. Clinical research from the University of Waikato in New Zealand revealed that pinosembrin stimulates neurogenesis, the growth of brand new neurons, within the hippocampus, the precise brain region responsible for creating and storing memories. While neurogenesis was once thought to cease in early adulthood, we now know it continues throughout life in the hippocampus, where it can be accelerated by specific nutrients like those in raw honey, or suppressed by processed sugars. This is vital after age 75, when the hippocampus naturally shrinks by 1 to 2% annually without proactive measures, leading directly to decline in episodic memory, the memory that helps you recall recent conversations, appointments, and loved ones' names. Researchers at the National Brain Research Center in India discovered that